Hello friends, my name is Dheeraj and in this session we'll learn about cells and ranges in Microsoft Excel. A cell is a single element in worksheet that can hold a value, that is a numeric or some text or a formula. A cell is identified by its address. As seen here, our active cell is A1 and its address is shown here. This is called name box. It also it shows address of a active cell or a name. We can give desired name to a cell or a range so that we can easily use in our calculations and formula. We have separate detailed session on name manager in Excel. For the time being, let us focus on cells and ranges. A group of cell is called as a range. You designate a range address by specifying its upper left cell and its lower right cell address separated by column. For example, I have a range over here, some value. So if I want to select a range, this range address is B2, that is left topmost cell, and C3, that is right bottommost cell. As we are aware of a sum function, now let us use this range in our sum function. I have few numbers over here in cell B2 10, cell C2 20, 30 and 40. Now if I want total of this range, we can use sum function, that is sum, and I'm specifying a range. As we mentioned, the left topmost cell, that is B2, and right bottommost cell, that is C3. So I'm specifying a range in my sum function. I'll complete the formula and press enter. So we get a sum of this particular range. Now let us see some more range example which I have in my sheet 2. Okay. Now here this cell C3, as we can see in the name box, is a range which consists of a single cell, that is only C3. Now this particular range, it is a 2 cell that occupies one row, and the range address is C5 to colon D5 because I have 2 cells over here. This particular example is about range with address C7 colon E12 because our left topmost cell is C7, as we can see over here, and right bottommost cell is E12. So this is a range with total of 18 cells, that is 3 by 6 matrix. Now if I want to select the entire range, entire column, I can omit the row number and simply specify A colon A. For example, as we know, we can start formula with is equal to sign. So I say A colon A. Now this is selecting entire column A. As you can see, it is highlighted. As we are aware, whenever we type a formula in Excel and we are referring a cell or a range, that particular range is highlighted with some special border. So here entire column A is selected. So we select entire column with the help of this kind of range. And when I want to select 2 columns, say for example A and B, I can simply say A colon B. As you can see over here, 2 columns, entire columns have been selected for my formula. So this is how you select range. Now selecting a range is a very important function in any Excel workbook which you may work upon. Let us go back to sheet 1. Okay. When you want to perform operation on a range, you must select it first. For example, if you want to make this content bold, one option is I can individually select the cell and click on bold function from the home ribbon tab, and second option is I can select the range. So there are various ways with the help of which you can select the range. If I want to make this bold, let me select using a mouse, that is clicking on the first cell of my range and then dragging it till the last cell of the range. When you select the range, a cell appears highlighted. The exception is the active cell. Now here our range B2 to C3 as you can see, it is selected, it is highlighted, but the active cell will always remain an exception. And the active cell is identified, as we know, from the address bar. So active cell over here is B2 and its address is shown over here. Now range can be selected in several ways, as we know. The first is by using a mouse. This is the first technique. And second is I can use the keyboard and press shift key and down arrow key and left arrow key. So I can use the navigation arrow keys and keep my shift key pressed to select the range. This is the second method. The third method is by using the function key F8. Now moment you press function key F8, you can see in the status bar selection extended. So I can keep on pressing my navigation key, that is down arrow key and left arrow key, and I can press function key F8 to remove the selection mode. So this is the third method with the help of which you can select the range. One more method which you can use is directly making use of this address bar. So if I want to select B2 and C3, this is my range, I can type in directly in the name box and press enter key. That name gets selected. Another way of selecting a range is making use of go to window. Go to window is available on home under editing section. You can go to find and select, and here it is go to. So I can open this window with the help of this, or simply press function key F5 to load that window. So I can press my name range which I want to select. First of all, let us close and deselect this range and make A1 as our active cell. I'm pressing function key F5 to load this window. I'm saying B2 to C4, sorry, C3. This is another way of selecting the range. Now easiest way is using a mouse, but you can also use this go to function if the row or the range which you want to select is not easily visible on your sheet and it lies somewhere deep in later rows. Now if you want to select entire row or an entire column, okay, I can simply click on the row over here, the header over here, to select the entire row, and I can press shift key to select the multiple rows like this. So the range over here is nothing but entire 3 rows, and same goes for the column. I can select a column, entire column, by clicking on the column header and keep the shift key pressed to select adjacent columns. Or like this, if I want to select till H, I can simply click over here H. If you want to select the entire row of the active cell, the another shortcut key is to shift and space. So when I press shift and space key, whichever cell is active, that entire row is selected. For example, I am on D5 and I want to select this 5th row. I can press shift key and space bar. So the entire row is selected and I can perform some operation on that. Similarly, if I want to select the column of the active cell, I can press Ctrl plus space bar to select that particular column. So here my active cell was C6, so entire C column got selected. If I was on D6 and I press Ctrl plus space bar, entire E column is selected. This is how you do the selection using a keyboard. You also sometimes need to select non-contiguous ranges. Non-contiguous ranges are, it is a range which consists of more than one range. So they are not next to each other, and it is known as multiple selection. You can select non-contiguous range with the help of Control key. Now for example, I want to select a row first and row third. So I can simply select first row and I can keep the Control key pressed on my keyboard and I can click on this third row. So as you can see, I've selected 2 rows first and third, and both are not adjacent to each other. So this is non-contiguous rows. Same way I can select the headers also, columns also, pressing Control key A and D. So I've selected A and D column using this. Now another way of selecting non-contiguous rows is specifying range separated by comma. Now for example, if I want to select this range and I'm pressing the Control key and I'm selecting this range. So this was one way of selecting non-contiguous range. Let us make use of this name box to do the non-contiguous selection. So we need to know the range, that is B2 to C3 and E2 to F3. So I can simply press, let us deselect first. I can simply press B2 C3, this is my first range, separated by comma, E2 colon F3, and I can press enter key. So this is making use of name box for selecting non-adjacent ranges. You can also use the same comma method in the go to box, B2 colon C3 comma E2 and F3. I can press enter key, I can click OK. This is how I'm making use of non-contiguous ranges. Now another important thing which we need to know is selecting ranges across multiple sheets. These are the ranges spread across multiple sheets. Now I have some sample sales data on my sheet 3. Okay, as we can see over here, this is some sales data month-wise and some numbers. Now suppose I want some average and total of this particular range in some other sheet. So I can go here. For example, I'm typing total sales is. Okay, let me expand the width of the column. I can simply say sum is the function for finding out the total. I can click on sheet 3. I can select the range with the help of mouse. I can simply press enter to complete the formula. Now as you can see in the formula bar, instead of simply D6 colon D17, it is prefixed with the help of sheet 3 and exclamation mark. This specifies in the Excel that this range which I am specifying in the function is not available in the local sheet. Local sheet is the sheet where the formula is entered, but it is available in some different sheet, sheet 3. Now similarly, if I say average sales, okay, I can explicitly type average. I can press tab to complete sheet 3 exclamation, and we should be aware of the range. If I'm not aware, I can simply go here, select this range. As you can see, moment I clicked on sheet 3, it appended sheet 3. So having 2 times sheet 3 will generate an error. So I need to remove one. I go here, complete the formula and press enter. So this is my average sheet, average sales. This is selecting range across multiple sheets. Now as we are aware of a range, we also need to sometimes find a range in large workbooks. So I can make use of the find and select option on the row, on the home ribbon. I can click over here, or I can simply press Ctrl plus F to load this particular window. Now this allows me to search anything on my sheet or a workbook. Now for example, if I say 10 and I say find, so it is searching this particular range or a cell where the value 10 was discovered. There are some advanced options, we'll explore that now. I can search within sheet, I can search within a workbook, I can search by row or a column, or I can search in a formula or a value. Now for example, if I say 10 across entire workbook, find all. Okay, so you can see all the search results are produced over here, and hyperlink is automatically created over here. If I click on that, it will take me. Now you can see the 10 was available in this particular value which we had entered, and on sheet 3 also 10 was discovered. So this is making use of find window to go to a specific range with specific value. Alternatively, Excel also allows you to search by format of a cell. We will skip this for now. Now there is another tab over here which is a replace, which is very important utility when working with your workbooks. You can directly load this replace with the help of this replace. It loads the same window, or you can press the Ctrl+H shortcut to load the replace. Okay. Before we see about replace, let me also introduce you to some wild characters. Like for example, I say any value starting with J and anything after that. Okay, I say find all. Now instead of workbook, I'll say sheet and again say find all. Now on sheet 3, the value starting with J was Jan, and then June, and then July. So actually asterisk is replaced by anything after J. So this is called as a wild character, which can be used for advanced search. Alternatively, I can use question mark for any single character. So for example, if I say J question mark N and I say find all, so there was one Jan, so A question mark was A over here, and over here the question mark was used for U. So Jan and June were the matching pattern for this particular search. Okay, coming back to replace, I can replace any, I can find anything and replace it with anything. So it's the options are same which are available for the find, but it will find that text and replace. So you can replace cell by cell, or you can simply say replace all. Wherever this matching pattern was found, it will simply replace with the value which you specify over here. So we will not replace anything over here, simply close the window. So this was about ranges and cells. One more shortcut before we wind up the session is about productivity. Now if you want to simply copy some value, say for example I have some text and I want to copy that text without actually Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, which is copy and paste, I can simply press Ctrl+D shortcut key, which will copy text from immediate row to the cell. And if I want to copy from immediate column to my active cell, I can press Ctrl+R shortcut key to copy the text. Now if I'm here and I press Ctrl+D, nothing happens because there's a blank cell and blank cell is copied over here. But I'm here and I'm pressing Ctrl+D, so text is copied from E4 to E5. Same way I'm here and I press Ctrl+R, so text is copied from E4 to F4. So this was another shortcut key for worksheet productivity.